Hey y'all, Will Healy here, and today I want to talk about inductive sensors and the basics of inductive sensors, and I'm going to talk about inductive sensors specifically for use in robotic and automated welding. This is a huge application, not just for Balluff, but for many companies that are using sensors around robots that are welding or around automated equipment that's welding. And what happens is spatter flies through the air, right? And when we're creating spatter, that's hot molten metal. And so these electronics, a traditional automation Prox has a plastic face there. I don't know if you can see that, but the plastic face there is one little BB from the weld spatter hits that, it melts it, burns the coil, and kills the sensor. And then on the side of the housing, it's usually a thin piece of metal on the side of the housing, and possibly even a plastic connector on the back. And so these are really easy to damage with hot molten metal flying through your workspace. And so typically there's a couple different things that you can do, but the first thing you can do is you can have the sensor coated with PTFE or Teflon, some people call it. And so that actually, is non-stick. And so the weld spatter hits that and flies off. Sometimes they'll add a ceramic face to the sensor to protect it, or even a welding spatter resistant high temperature cable that will resist the spatter. And so, we have opportunities to upgrade to the next level. Then you'll see things like steel face, because when we load a metal part, right, we're loading metal parts into fixtures so the robot can come and weld it. And when we load metal parts, we actually are smacking the face of this plastic sensor. We're smacking with a giant heavy truck frame. Well, this steel face sensor, it's specially designed to have a metal face on the face of the sensor. And so it's protected against loading and impact and those kinds of things. And so instead of snapping off the end of a sensor, we have a steel face, and a steel face protects it. Lots of companies make this, not just Balluff. And then really the penultimate, where we really talk to people about creating really robust applications where you're not replacing a sensor every day, you're replacing it once a quarter or never replacing it, depending upon the application. The idea is that you have a much more robust sensor. This is a steel face sensor with a special coating on it that's weld spatter and high temperature resistant, and that actually resists the debris. And other companies make these too. But the idea is, stop putting plastic automation things where there's hot molten metal flying everywhere, and think about, this is a basic coating, but even if this isn't working, then let's start talking about other things. Or if this thing's getting damaged from parts hitting it, let's talk about a steel face. There are things we can do to bring the uptime up of our production cells so that we can all hit our numbers, and we don't have to work on the weekend. We can go to our kids' soccer games. So I'll link to some stuff down below about welding proxes from the Automation Insights blog. And until next time, ask yourself, what will I automate next?